In this video number 8, we are going to discuss certain investigation techniques. When a statistical inquiry is conducted and takes into account the whole population, such a statistical inquiry is called the census method of collecting data. One of the most important agencies of central government that is engaged in the collection and publication of data is the Census of India. It provides the most complete and continuous demographic record of population, hence also called complete enumeration. It is conducted by the Government of India once in 10 years. The first census in India was conducted in the year 1881 by the then British government. The first census in the post-independent period was conducted in the year 1951. And the last census in India was conducted in the year 2011. During this census, the population was found to be 1.2 billion and the male number was this and the females were these. When is the census conducted? Where an intensive study of population is required. It not only records population but also the number of males, females, their age and the marital status, whether they are married or not, their educational and occupational levels, income, health conditions and more. That is demographic data on birth and death rates, literacy, workforce, life expectancy, size and composition of population. All this is collected and published by the Registrar General of India, RGI, the Registrar General of India. The data so collected is highly reliable and accurate since every item of the population is observed personally. Now, the census data is interpreted and analyzed to understand many economic and social issues in India, and accordingly plans and policies are formulated. However, it also has certain demerits, that it is very expensive. Since each and every item of the population has to be observed or investigated, it is very expensive. At the same time, it consumes a lot of time and manpower. Manpower meaning a lot of people have to be employed in order to collect the data. Now, when the statistical inquiry is to take into account only a part of the population, that method of collecting data is called sampling method. Here is the whole population, which we call the universe, and a part of the population or the universe is taken into account for data collection. Such a method of collecting data is called sampling method of collecting data. Here, a homogeneous sample, a representative homogeneous sample is selected and they collect reasonably accurate information because we think that this sample represents the whole of the universe. Hence, whatever data is collected from the sample is taken to be for the whole of the universe. Since it's only a part of the population, it takes less time and also will cost very less. When do we follow this sampling method? When the study is intensive and continuous. For an extensive study, we need a larger sample size. If the sample size is small, then an intensive and continuous study is possible. Also, when the population is infinitely large like that of India or is spread over a large geographical area, then we conduct what is called as the sampling method of collecting data. One of the examples that we can give over here is when destruction is involved in conducting an inquiry, like the testing of explosive. In such a case, sampling method is used. A whole of the population cannot be used for conducting such experiments. The demerits or limitations of sampling method are that it is not possible to have 100% accuracy because the results are taken from a sample and not the whole population. Then the next one is that it is not possible to have a true representative of the population because we are talking about a homogeneous sample. So a true representation is difficult when we talk about this sampling method. Then the investigator may be biased. He might select a sample deliberately. Maybe something that is very close to the place where he lives or maybe where he has friends. So he might show some bias in selecting a sample. Then heterogeneity is not possible because we are talking about homogeneous population. A population is said to be heterogeneous if its items or sampling units are not similar with regard to the characteristics under investigation. So in case of heterogeneous population, any sample may not correctly reflect the characteristics of the population. So this is one of the demerits of sampling method. Now we have a number of sampling methods since the whole population is not under investigation and only a part of it is involved. So we have random sampling in which each and every item has equal chance of being selected, and the non-random sampling. The non-random sampling could be a judgment non-random sampling, a quota sampling or convenience sampling. The random sampling consists of simple random sampling or restricted random sampling. The restricted random sampling is further divided or has many methods. Stratified random sampling, in which the group is divided into strata. Systematic random sampling, as the name tells us, it's very systematic. Cluster random sampling, in which clusters are formed. And multi-stage sampling, where there are many stages of conducting an investigation.